Hey guys, it's David, and I thought of this last night before going to bed, and I was kind of praying that I would remember it when I woke up, and lo and behold, here it is. So this is a little piece of genius, really, that I didn't think would be possible regarding casting director workshops. So this is part of the Getting to Know the People module, and so this is my proposal. Generally speaking, I don't advocate casting director workshops just because they are, in general, I would call them unethical. They're discouraging casting directors from doing the job that they're supposed to be doing, and instead of going out and educating actors, which would be fine to a certain extent, they've slipped into the world of basically letting actors pay them to see them. So anyway, without getting into that any further, that's my general thought on them, but here's a way you can take advantage of them and speed up your networking, your people meeting skills. So what you want to do is pick a few casting directors, I'd say between 2 and 5. And this is obviously directed at people who live in cities where there are casting director workshops, but it doesn't mean that you can't get creative if you don't live in one of these towns and come up with a strategy of your own, because generally speaking, the facts are going to remain the same. If the workshop part is missing from your equation, then figure a way to fill where I say workshop, you have to come up with something else, okay? And I don't have the answers, guys, but this is hopefully what I'm teaching you, is to think out of the box, to think creatively, to think of doing things that nobody else is doing. And sure, the first time you approach somebody with a new idea, they're going to look at you like you're crazy, until pretty soon everyone's doing it. And I'm sure that people initially thought casting director workshops were crazy, and I still think they kind of are, but they're very accepted in New York and Los Angeles in particular. And they also do them to a lesser extent in smaller markets like Toronto and like Vancouver, maybe London, and maybe Sydney as well. Because let's face it, there's always going to be actors trying to skip doing the work and replacing money for effort. Anyway, so this is what you do. You pick 2 to 5 casting directors, and you start going to their workshops. And you just go to the same casting directors' workshops over and over. I would say a minimum of twice, but maybe you go 3 times, maybe 4, what have you. So there are, usually in LA at least, there are multiple companies putting on these workshops. So what you want to do is go to the same casting director workshops, the same casting directors workshops with multiple companies, so that the same casting directors see you 2-3 times. Okay, so at that point, again, this is based on you guys having the skill set to make a positive impression. And I can't control that, but I have to keep emphasizing it to you. You can't just show up and repeat something over and over if it's not good, because then you're basically just drilling it into a casting director's head that you're not someone that they should call in. So you go a few times, they like your work. I guess the reason you go a second time is if they tell you they really like your work, but again, I know it's hard to know if they really do like your work because they're getting paid and they don't want to scare actors off, and in fact they probably have a deal with the workshop provider never to get too negative on an actor. But anyway, you say you go a few times, and then at that point